All right, fellas, another account review. Number 7, I think. Could be wrong, but number 7. Regardless, let's get right into it. So this player's been playing for quite a while now. 4th year for this guy on 2018, September 17th. So, 4 years. Quite a long time, quite a long time. Right, let's get right into it. So, he has the stats pulled up from the anniversary log or whatever. 14-2. I would definitely work on that whenever you can. Days on duty 1432. Yes, 4 years. So he submitted this about September 4th. So I'm about 3 weeks behind on that. But 4 years. 4 years, including today. So 4 years. Quite a lot. Quite a lot. So I don't think there's like much to talk about for these things because they don't give you enough information, IMO, for those kind of things or whatever. Let's go ahead and talk about the stats right here. So collection wise, 99.5%. So you're missing like 2 or 3 ships. I think one might be a meta. I could be wrong, but I think the other two, not sure what you're missing, but definitely is a thing. Wait, there's a description here. Forgot to add items and gear skins, fleet text. I'll pull that up in a bit, but as of right now, all stats looking fine. Attacks 88k, ships owned 66k across the board. Pretty average, pretty average. 20,000 commissions. Everything else looking solid, my man. Looking solid right there. So in terms of dog space, let's tell you what we got here. 620 dog space. Let me see. Those are just questions, but I was just looking at stuff real quick. Everything else, though, straight up across the board. So this guy did mention that he is free to play except for skins and cruise passes. Now, I'm not sure how much gems cruise pass gives. I think like 500 or something. So I think we got like 3 or 4 since then. So 1,500 gems. That's like barely one. That's like barely one ring. Maybe like 2 rings on packs or whatever. Well, 1 discount pack and then 1 other ring. That's like 3 if you want to go for that. But probably all dog space though. So we're lacking on the ring department. Understandable. Right off the board though, we have 1 ring and that's FDG. So you can already figure out what this person is going to use for ships. So everything else though, 125 across the board, we're looking pretty good. Everything is what you expect to use for just regular ships nowadays. All URs are 125. We got the good ships like Perseus, Unicorn at 125 already. Everything else, submarines as well too at 125. And so forth. So we have a lot of skins here. A lot of skins. This guy prioritized skins more than oath rings. I respect it. We have Azuma here. We have Helena here. Azuma, Helena, and FDG. A lot of PR2 stuff right here are ringed. Definitely an interesting choice. Definitely an interesting choice. But going down the list, there's going to be a lot of 125s. If you're playing for 4 years, there's definitely going to be a lot of 120s. So I'll point out anything I like in particular. Otherwise, love the Monarch skin. We're going to be skipping most of it because most of these ships are maxed out. It's just like missing developer levels or some other nitpicky stuff. But for the most part, there should be a lot of 125s in here. And there, or not 125s, 120s in here. And there is a lot in here. So when it comes to questions, if there are any, I'll talk about later on in terms of ships or whatever. But for the most part, we have a lot of 120s, and that's good. Having more diversity in your pool is always nice to have, especially if you're a long-term player, because this opens up different play styles that you may be into, playing for fun, playing for meta, other fleets you want to play for fun or whatever. A lot of options, a lot of options. So ship-wise, I like the selection. We have all the good ships at 120. If I see a ship that I could say you could work on, then I'll probably mention it, probably like in the other spec part of the video when we have like questions or whatever. But for the most part, you pretty much have a good idea of what to do as of right now in the game. You have pretty much the necessities at 120 or 125 already, so you're basically good to go. Now gear here, I think this guy said he had gears and gear skins or whatever missing, so go ahead and do the inventory first in gears, and then I'll go ahead and show the rest of it in a bit. So in terms of gear, what we got here is 1457, the MK7 as well too, 4 Wyverns, 1 Drake gun, the Admiral fire control, 1 of the Shimikaze torpedoes, 3 of the actually no, that's 4. No, that's 5. 5 Quints right here, and a lot of Oxy torpedoes. So I think you're in a good spot. I would definitely try to get a 10 right, especially because I see that most of your PR4s aren't completed as of right now, so you're working on that. But once you get that 10 right, though, do slap it on Haku Ryu, and then boom, your damage just flies off the chart. So do that, and you should be okay. 1457 is fine. I would try to get a second one, though. I think you're done with PR too, so I don't know how close you are to the second one, but definitely is something to consider if you're doing battleship investments. 2457 is not bad at all to have. Not bad at all. Gear wise, we have Steam Catapults 4 at plus 13. Very nice. Definitely try to go for a 6 if possible. You're playing 3 carriers. But 4 right now is really good, so we'll settle it with that. Everything else, though, Helldivers. We got a good amount of Helldivers. We got a lot of Douglas as well, too. Some Tiger Cats, always nice to have. A lot of courses. This guy has a lot of planes, so planes are not an issue for this guy at all. I would say, though, if I don't see a lot of these later on, I'll probably talk about it in a bit. Do make more Dido AAs, the 15 firepower Gear Lab anti-airs. Those are really, really good. Otherwise, for the most part, there's a good selection of torpedoes everywhere. I'm not a fan of the plus 13 on Barracudas because I truly do believe plus 10 parallel bombers are more than enough for everything in this game. Like, even when I did World 14, I had plus 10 Wyverns, and that's pretty much it. I would save the plus 13s for converging bombers, because those are much more beneficial to have at plus 13, because bossing content is much more difficult compared to mob content. So plus 10 parallel bombers are fine. I would skip on making more of these, but do work on converging bombers like Ryuzeis or Junkers. Those are much better to take to plus 13 than parallel bombers are. Now Dido AAs, once again, yeah, like I said, make more of these. These are really, really good because you're pretty much going to use these on pretty much every single content available for the most part. If it's not anti-air, if it's not like a higher boss level than you are, the 15 firepower is just free stats, more damage. It's just way too good to pass up. So make more of these. I would say get about 10, maybe more, but 10 will get you to a good spot in the game with these. Now, when it comes to other stuff, bidders, working on 6-1 indeed. I think you are working on 6-1. So once you get to 6-1, slap down to your submarines, and you're good to go. Everything else, though, we're looking okay here. We have a wide selection of everything, so that's very nice to have. Can't go wrong with the wide selection of gear. That is for sure. I see like plus 10s, or not plus 10s, like plus 12, 13s all over the place, which is fine. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about having 2 Azuma guns, these right here, at over plus 10. I think 1 at plus 13 is fine, and keep the rest at plus 10 because you can swap around, alternate between them. Personally, I don't think you should have more than 1 large cruiser gun at plus 13 for each typing. Like 1 E-Girl gun, 1 Azuma gun, 1 Kronstadt gun at plus 13. That's more than enough, and then you should be okay with it. Everything else, though, shells, I think we have a good amount of white shells. Plus 13 white shells, 4, 5 of them. Very nice, very nice. Everything else, though, let's see, we have a lot of torpedoes, a lot of guns. We have a wide selection of plus 10s right here, which is really, really good. So I like the diversity when it comes to guns. Always nice to have these things. Very nice. And baguette guns, I would definitely try to get more of these. If you aren't already doing a lot of D2 Iris runs, definitely do more of those. Get more baguette guns. These are still best in slot to this very day. Having 4 is good, but I would try to definitely go for more because they fit in pretty much every slot. U.S. battleships, light cruiser auxiliary or secondaries, DD guns. There's just a lot of ways to use these baguette guns, and it's just way too good. It's farmable as well too, so definitely do more Iris because getting these guns are really beneficial to have. Now, plus 13 them, I don't know about that, but plus 10s though are really nice to have. So keep that in mind. Everything else though, I'm gonna skip the purple gear. We have a wide selection of repair toolkits, so that is good. That is good. Now, when it comes to the gear stuff, this guy wants to show them, so I'll go ahead and post them as well too. Fleet tech, me officer, stuff like that. We'll go ahead and do those. So right here we have the gear stuff. Now, oh my god, there's a plate right here. So let me see. Right here, gear gold plate wise, we're doing pretty good. We have a lot of split. Now we have a lot of used plates as well too, which is good. But I would definitely hold on to some because UR gear is really expensive to get to plus 13. So keep that in mind. If you're investing into like 10 Rise or Drake guns or 457s, you're going to need a lot of plates for these. So try to keep at least like 400 around with you, just in case you want to get a plus 13 right away with those UR gear. All right. Everything else though, let's see here. Skip down a bit. I hope I can scroll this like a little bit faster. Cubes are at 1200. Very nice. Now purple plates. Ooh, I was way too fast there. My apologies. Purple plates were sitting at about. That's a good amount. I say you're probably gonna need more general plates. We all do. So try to farm that up a little bit. But for the most part, there's a good amount of plates to keep you good for like the rest of the game. Pretty much, you have a wide selection. This is more than enough, I feel, for most of the stuff you're gonna make in this game to plus 10, plus 13s or whatever. So the general plates may be looking a bit shaky, but I think 2,000 is more than enough to get you done for a couple months at least for like gearing and whatnot. Blue plates were good there. Packs were good there. Books were good there. Everything else were looking good. So this is about as veteran as you can get when it comes to gearing. I don't know why it's like this. Okay, why is it like... I hope it's set up. Inventory? Okay, is it just looping? I assume it is looping. Otherwise, okay, inventory is fine. It's just what I expect from a veteran. Now, gear skins, we have a lot of these. We have the guilty one. Personally, a lot of the near gear skins, I just like they look cool, but like, I just don't use them. I barely use gear skins at all. I just like collect them for the most part. So we have a wide selection of these. It's nice to look at, but like there's just so many gear skins that I'm just like whatever. I think the corn one's pretty nice from I think it's Whole Live or whatever. That was like pretty good. So I like that one. And Dogus from Neptunia, and the FAQ ones from the Kazuna Eye ones. Fleet Tech, I would definitely max these out. You get free stats, so push for level 8 Royal Navy. I think you get like a couple firepower or something. Iron Blood also push that up to level 9 as well too. Get that maxed out. You get free cog chips, free cog arrays, some coins. It's just too worth it. Definitely max these out whenever you can. And Fleet Tech though, just get more 120s up. That should be your goal as of right now. If you're good on ships, you're complete with most of everything. I think you're on 14.3 right now in the campaign, so we'll talk about that in a bit though. So this cat right here, reload used to be a meme, but now it's pretty good because of Musashi. Otherwise though, this isn't the worst cat, but I would definitely try to get a better one if possible. But that's not a bad cat though. This cat right here, now the stats are all over the place, but I think it should be okay. I would definitely try to get like a wolf pack one, or actually it's like alpha wolf or something. It's like wolf something talent. I'll get that one, and I'll get like flames aggression, and then you should be good okay for submarine cats. And the KMS fleet tech as well too. That's also good. This cat right here, accuracy, HP, reload. Definitely do try to aim for a better cat. More firepower, damage lines are always nice to have. And let's see, next one. So this one right here, anti-air, reload, HP. So I'm not a fan of HP. It's a wasted line IMO. Anti-air is kind of a waste of a line as well too, but it's probably more useful than HP by far for a backline ship. Reload is fine. Firepower is okay, or firepower is good. You want to go for firepower. You want to have unique lines as well too, like Flames Aggression, Soulful Warrior, Destiny. Those are the lines you want for a battleship cat, for uniques. Now, DD cats right here, I'm not a fan of DD cats, so I have nothing to say about those. We're going to completely just ignore that. I'm not a fan of DD cats. I feel like it's wasted for sure. Now, this cat right here, this is a submarine cat. Mountain's Tenacity is a weird one for submarines. I'd rather just go all out damage, but you can definitely do that. The reload is okay. The torpedo stat is good. It's not a bad cat to use, but do try to strive to get a better one. This Pound Cat, anti-air, firepower, and Royal Navy line. That's okay if you're running Royal Navy. Basically, Vanguard benefits from this if you're running like a really meta fleet. Anti-air, again, is just not a fan of. The second line is fine, though, for firepower. Takimaru. So Takimaru is a weird cat. You can build it, definitely, with just straight up backline. You can definitely build it with just full backline main fleet talents. Like you have main fleet accuracy, main fleet reload, and main fleet firepower and HP. But the issue is you're wasting the cat in general because Takimaru is a cruiser Vanguard cat. So even if you are rolling lines for your backline, yes, that is good. the cat skills benefit the vanguards. They don't really benefit your main fleet. So if you're gonna run a Takimaru, you want to run cruiser skills and cruiser talents because it makes sense to line up the skills that or the talents that you want with that cat with what it serves to do best in. In this case, Takimaru is a cruiser cat. You want cruiser talents. If this cat was like an Oscar or a Pound or a Lime, then you would want these talents right here. The reload, accuracy, and firepower one. Those are much more beneficial to have on a BB cat versus a cruiser cat. Alright. Now, the Bishimaru, Aviation, Aviation Reload. These are two good lines right here. The HP one, I'm not a fan of. And the BBV 5 Aviation, also not a fan of. So we have two Aviation lines that are good. Try to aim for Flames Aggression or Ace Pilot, specifically Ace Pilot. And you should be okay with a 3 damage line cat for Bishimaru. Antenna is a weird cat. I'm not like a big fan of Antenna, but this cat right here is pretty good. We have Elite Officer Battleship. We have Artillery Ace Mate, and we have Soulful Warrior, 3 damage lines. That is a good cat right there. However, Antenna skills are like kind of whatever. I think it's like kind of contradictory. It's kind of like a weird skill to work with when it comes to BB ships. Personally, not a fan of it. The better BB cats are definitely going to be Oscar, Pound, and Lime. Antenna isn't bad either. It's just it's difficult to like mesh with because I think like there's some skills that are like this. They aren't as good as like Pound, Lime, or Oscar when you're using Antenna. But having 3 damage lines though is really good. So that is a plus right there. And the Yoshimaru, I'm not a fan of this cat, and I don't like elite cats that much. And Yoshimaru is definitely a cat I wouldn't like. I think in terms of elite cats, I'll probably go with like Jiromaru and Graf or Grawl, and that's pretty much it for elite cats. The carrier one and a submarine one. All right. So going back to the video, we have styles now. I think you have pretty much most of them. You may have missed a couple, but who knows? But I know if you're a 4-year-old player, you pretty much have most of them, if not all of them. So let's go ahead and double check. I think you have most of them in here. Maybe all of them. I'm not sure. I'm going to say you have all of them. But that is very, very nice. Chat borders. I do wish they have more chat borders in this game. Truth be told, we only have anniversary borders, which is nice. But I would they can definitely do more chat borders for sure. Like these are just all reskins. Like a little bit of a difference, like a little bit of a shading right here. But it's pretty much all the same chat borders. I feel like they should definitely add more chat borders to this game to like make it a lot more enticing to type in chat because everyone's gonna have like a different border. Much nicer to have, like portraits. So definitely want more chat borders in this game. In terms of medals, we have the bronze ones. These are good. If you have the last one, you do. Very nice. Having the bronze border or tier 2 faction medals, which is very, very good. Now, when it comes to campaign mode, it depends on how aggressive you want to push this. But I would definitely try to get 14.2 done. World 14 doesn't start until 14.3. I've said this many times. The game starts in campaign mode at 14.3. If you're struggling with 14.2 already, then there's going to be a lot of problems going into 14.3 and 14.4. Work on your submarines. Work on your tanky ships in the back line. You have Perseus. You have Unicorn. It's all about survivability, some RNG, and building good fleet comps. Musashi will help out a lot. If you have Musashi, put her in your mob fleet, and she will help out a lot. It's a very good ship to have for World 14 for sure. A hard mode is all cleared out. Very nice. PR1, we have a PR1. PR1 is all maxed out, just as I expected, so we can just go ahead and ignore that. Very nice. PR2, also pretty much maxed out. We have Fate Simulation 5 for FDG coming in the future. Copium, but probably may happen. The other ones, PR3, we're working on that as of right now. Cheshire is in the works. Mines is in the works. We're getting there. PR4, I would definitely work on PR4. I think I've said this many times in other videos and reviews already. PR4 is probably the best season to work on if you're going for an endgame player because it has pretty much a wide diversity of good endgame bossing ships. And PR5, still fresh. We're looking pretty good there. Just get this done whenever possible, and you should be okay. But I would definitely work on PR4 though, because you're pushing that World 14 mark. So having those kind of diversity is really good. Not to saying that PR5 isn't good for World 14 as well either. You have Brest, you have Plymouth, you have really sustainable ships. That's also good. But when we want bossing stuff like arbiters, metas, then PR4 is definitely the way to go. All right. So those are the video stuff that I want to show in the links. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. So my main goal is to get every ship. Very nice. I'm not sure what you're missing as of right now, but good luck on getting those things. First question is, how strong are augments? So augments are basically free stats. You can get like 20 firepower, 20 aviation. I would definitely invest into that because it's free stats. You can't say no to free stats. Everyone loves a free boosted damage. There's a reason why some people are doing like Dido AAs, the 15 firepower anti-air, or doing like light cruiser guns on battleships to get the extra 20 firepower. Those little extra stats do go a long way if you stack up all your stats. So just min-maxing stuff. 20 firepower is definitely something very, very good to have, or 20 aviation. Question 2, how do you manage using your cubes to research? Is there a threshold you don't want to go under? I've got 1200 cubes, but I got really bad luck last banner. It took 500 cubes to get Z16. Felt that one. Kind of afraid to use too much cubes in case it happens again. LOL. I started PR 5 with about 2,000 cubes. I'm sitting at about 1350 right now after about I think 2 months. So I'm down 650 cubes. Now most of those cubes I can get back very easily. When I'm doing cube missions, it's like it goes back and forth a lot. It's about the same. The only time I tank in cubes are during events. Like the last event, this event I spent like 330 cubes. The Brunhild one I spent like 100 or 200 something. So most of the time when I take permanent damage in my cubes is from the gacha banners and not the research itself. If you're very consistent with your gameplay, you're doing all your missions, you're doing all your commissions, then if you're doing, you can confidently do a good amount of cube missions every single day while still balancing out with the dailies and your commissions that you get from every single day. So like if you do 3 or 4 cube missions today, you'll get it back in no time because of all the dailies and weeklies that you get and commissions. So I'm not like super worried about it. The only time you should be worried is if you're like under 500, 600 and you're like, whoa, I should save these because we have like a UR event coming out soon or something. Then you should start to get worried. If you have over 1,000 though, you should be more than fine. If you have 1,000 cubes, just don't worry about it. You're in a good spot. Compared to most people, you're in a very, very good spot. So as of right now, the only ways to use cubes are with gacha or cube researches and unlocking PR ships. So you're pretty much done with that. Then there's nothing to be worried about. 1,000 or 1,200 cubes is definitely more than enough to do researches with cubes comfortably. It's just if you want to speed things up, you also get some cog chips as well too. But I don't think you're stressing on that because you have like 100,000 of them. So if you have 1,200 cubes, you're in a good spot. Do some cube missions if you want. It's 1 hour. You get a good amount of prints. Otherwise, though, if you don't want to, you can just sit on it, get more cubes if you want to just stockpile, show it off to other people or something. But if you're sitting at 1,200 cubes though, you're comfortable. You're good to go. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So I believe that is it for questions. We are good with this video, and that's my friend Camille right there. I'm not sure if he showed his name or whatever, but oh, it's KamiKamiKami. My bad, KamiKamiKami. That is the review for this guy right here. Hope you all enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on next video. Peace out.